Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, well under 20. It is 43 here today. Yes. So I've got the heat on, and because I love my heat, and I had to give up that lightweight transitional bathrobe. And so the heat's coming through the radiators. We have an old-fashioned steam radiator. Love it. Now Greg is a heating guy, so he has maintained this old baby, but I love radiator heat. Always have. And so yeah, here I am. And my wisps weren't behaving today, so behind the ear they went. But that's not, I don't think that's why you tuned in, is it? Well, anyway, today is a day that I was thinking about as the cats were fighting on top of me at 3 a.m. I was thinking about abstinence. Is abstinence something that's important to you? If you're not tracking and maybe weighing and measuring, abstinence isn't going to be something that could make you feel great that you've done it or make you feel guilty because you didn't do it. So sometimes, it's our own best and worst enemy at the same time. But I find for a lot of clients, they plan their food out and then they have something extra or they don't have something. And I always say to them, plan the extra something, put it in your tracker. If you don't have it, then you won't feel bad. But if you don't plan it and then you have it, it will kind of feel like you're cheating, even if your body is saying, hey, wait a second. Hey, who said I was done here? Give me some more food. This isn't going to be it for the day, little missy. I want more. Give me more. So abstinence was very, very important to me in the early 70s. 70s, 50 years ago, when I began Overeaters Anonymous. And there they had a gray sheet and a yellow sheet. A gray sheet and an orange sheet. They were so incredibly strict. It's scary now to think that I was eating so little. I guess I lost the weight, but I lost the head gaming stuff, which is how I feel about tracking today. That the head is taken out of the equation. And so I can't sit there and play with food in my head and imagine things that I'm going to have, that I'm not going to have, that I'm going to have until I did have. And so I find it very important to me. A day of abstinence is what I ask for each morning. And my food is usually tracked by then because I work on it during the week. I put the bones in. I do my major shopping on Friday. So I put the bones of the week in because I've bought the food, the extra different things. Like I bought country spare ribs and sirloin tips in addition to the usual that I have with the pizza and the big green egg. I bought a porterhouse instead of ribeye for this week. And Greg was asking about that organic chicken. I guess he liked it. So we will do that again. And as I said, I don't have that for chicken anymore. But taking the breast off of the whole chicken and shredding it into that Cobb salad was delicious. So I will be able to do that this week. So with those things in mind and in place, I kind of have my week completed. And I will fill in around it. So yesterday I was at Market Basket. And Market Basket is my favorite store. They got the best stuff at the lowest prices, And it seems to be the only place in the world that sells Olivia's baby butter lettuce. And unfortunately, the sell-by date was 3 days away. Otherwise, I would have bought 2 containers. So although I have enough for like Monday and Tuesday, it will, I'll have to do the searching again. So this lovely elderly black man saw me taking the baby butter lettuce. And he said, oh, that's my favorite. And I said, my favorite too. And he said, it's really hard to find. And I said, tell me about it as I do the 3 and 4 store search. And so I said, I live in Hyannis because the store is like 3 or 4 towns away. And he said, so do I. And so we were comparing notes about how the adventure of the baby butter lettuce is for us each week. And I'm having 50 grams a day for now. Who knows? I could go to 40 this week. I might have to if there's none available. And so it's just fun talking to a man. And he said, after we chatted for a while, he said, I have to go. And I said, that's okay. Fine. Nobody's tying you to me for the rest of the day. And he said, yeah, I have to go to the bathroom. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, that's how it is when you're an old man. I said, I know. And of course, by the time I get home, and I went to four or five stores yesterday, by the time I get home, you know, I'm in serious lift up a heavy bag, and you know what happens if you're an older woman. Yeah. And so anyway, it was just kind of fun to identify with somebody in the journey. And so I had so much meat on the cart, on the conveyor belt. And I said to the lady, I look like this cave woman, don't I? And she said, no, you look like you're just buying enough meat for your family for the week. And I said, it's two of us. And she said, oh, maybe it is a lot of meat. So as I slowly step into more carnivory, it's just funny to see the reactions on people's faces and stuff. But I mean, just imagine the food that goes down a conveyor belt. And of course, my treat is to have everything on the belt and get to check out all the stuff in front of me and all the stuff behind me and see how they're doing and see how they look, especially if they're an older woman like me, you know, excuse me, bulletproof coffee, how they do with their foods for the week. And it's rare to see somebody on the belt without a lot of standard American diet foods. And the husbands are always skinny. How is this fair? How is this fair? We women, we just, you know, we enter menopause, postmenopause, and it's just this journey to hell for us until we get our stuff together. So I'm very glad to be doing the foods that I'm doing, the much, much, much lower veggies. It feels fabulous, to tell you the truth. And so I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing, which is a scotia veggies and a little bit more meat every day, more protein. So what am I having today? How nice that you asked. Okay. These are my foods for the day. 1,328 calories, 50 grams, 50.4 grams of protein, 3.4 grams of carbs, and the fat is 125. So I'm having spare ribs, not country spare ribs. I put those in the freezer. I'll cook those later this week. And my 50-gram baby butter lettuce with 60 grams of cottage cheese. And I probably don't need as much cottage cheese. I don't need as much lettuce either. But I wanted to make sure that I had enough to last me the 23, 24 hours and remain abstinent. So, yeah, I love my very low carb. It's pretty much carbs under 5 each day, except for Saturday and Sunday when I have the keto pizza still with more meat on it than before. And then the big green egg with the smaller every week portions of asparagus, cauli crumbles, and Brussels sprouts. I'm not ready to part with those yet, but that's okay. It is what it is. And I read one woman, I was listening to her video, and she said, I consider myself a VLP gal, but a VLP. And it's like, oh, okay. And I was in the tub listening. And she said, very low plant. And it's like, okay, that really works. And so I've been focusing on a woman named Sally K. Norton, who's fabulous. And I was so surprised when I got there. And there's a comment from Keto Man Mike. So he listens to it. So no wonder he said, I'm glad you got off the oxalates with the spinach. And spinach isn't the only one that contains them, but it sounds like something that just kind of builds in your body as crystals and causing kidney stones. And so I'm fascinated to hear about that. I've never suffered from kidney stones, but yeah. And how many of you out there, like me, thought that eating a whole bunch of spinach every day was the way to go? I mean, if you want to pack in the nutrients, you have spinach, right? That's what we're told. And so it sounds like spinach is one of the most hateful veggies to our bodies. So it's just kind of fascinating. And just a question out there. Have any of you read Giselle's book or seen an interview with her, Tom Brady's wife? They follow the Stephen Gundry plant paradox way of eating. So I was just wondering if she was saying anything about what they have. I think they're vegetarian too. So what a challenge that all must be. I'm not a vegetarian and I'm not planning on being it. I love the meats that I picked out this week. Isn't it funny to talk about that? Like, I can't wait to have that porterhouse, but I can't wait to have that porterhouse. So last night was delicious, and I look forward to my country ribs. And it was funny because as I was checking out, they had this cooler ice thing set up with salmon, swordfish, and porterhouse, which are like three of my favorites. So I honed in on the salmon and the swordfish, and then I saw the porterhouse with the eye, that little fillet thing that's on it. And I said, oh no, I guess we're not getting seafood this week. But I will have the chicken, so at least that's something. So that's how I'm rolling here today. I do love my program. Abstinence is very important to me, this particular turtle, snowflake, and pickle. And it's because of all my background, as well as the, my affiliation with Overeaters Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, where abstinence is major. You can't have a beer on a Saturday and still call yourself sober with the amount of time that you have in. So abstinence is important to me with food too. I can't have a bite off of your plate if you're with the standard American diet, a twirl of your pasta off of your plate at Olive Garden and say, yeah, it was good. I didn't have anything I wasn't supposed to do all weekend. For me, it's the seed of more that would get planted, and the more would play on me until I satisfied that, and I don't want that. So I ask for a day of abstinence each day. It's very important. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. This was the length of a cup of coffee, and I will see you the next time. Thanks so much for watching. I need you. I love you guys. It's very important to me. So I try to keep this keto and carnivore based and throw in some wisdom and some other stuff along the way. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Bye-bye for now.